Hey guys, it's Steph here with Crafty Ladybug. Today we're going to talk about a couple items that are in our beach series, and we're going to begin the beach series with the beach chair. This is going to be the first item that I'm releasing in the beach series. It is a beach chair that we're going to make on one loom. And I've got the matching dad that's going to go with it perfectly. So here's our beach Bob. And Bob has got hair on the back of his head, as well as a cute little pair of swimming trunks. His daughter, Beach Bree. We've got a littler version of our mom, and this is going to be, once again, hair on the back of their head. The hair is something that I started on the back of the head with Prince Eric and Ariel. So if you want to see other items with the hair, different styles of hair, check those out. But our Bree has got her little beach pail, as well as her rake and her shovel. So that's going to be on my channel very soon. The beach umbrella to coordinate with the whole entire beach theme. And here we have got our beach mama, little Barbie, beach Barbie, and her beach mat. And then Boogie Board Billy over here on his little mini boogie board. And once again, Billy has got hair on the back of his head, as well as a cute pair of little shorts. But these are going to be some great items that you would love to complete to finish off your beach series. Hey guys, it's Steph here with Crafty Ladybug. Today's lesson is going to be on little beach boy Billy in his bathing suit. For today's lesson, you'll be needing 27 bands for your choice of hair color, 60 bands for your choice of skin tone, and 15 bands for your choice of trunk color for his bathing suit bottom. You will also need a skin tone band threaded with 2 beads for your eyes, or we will be making the eyes out of rubber bands for this lesson. So if you prefer to use beads, thread your beads. If you like to use rubber bands, I will show you how to do that as the lesson goes on. For today's lesson, I'm going to begin with my loom set in its staggered configuration, and my arrow is pointing from my left, going towards my right. If you want to follow along easier with this lesson, please have your loom set up as I have illustrated here. Let's begin by taking a hair colored band. For today, I'm mixing brown and beige to form kind of like a highlighted surfer look. I'm going to take these 2 bands and I'm going to place those in a diagonal fashion on the very first set of pegs. The next 2 bands are going to come in a diagonal fashion from the center down to the bottom row. And then the next set of 2 bands are going to complete the center. I'm going to come down the center band 1, 2, 3 more times for a total of 4 with 2 bands each time. So my center has a total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of bands. The next step will be to take 2 bands and we're going to come on our top row twice with 2 bands. Then we're going to complete off a long diagonal from this peg to this peg with 2 bands once again. We need to do the similar situation for our bottom row using 2 bands, 2 bands, and a long diagonal with 2 bands. Our next step to complete the hair will be to do the capping bands. I'm doing the hair as a separate layer, so I'm going to loop a portion of it and then come back and start our body. For the hair, you want to take a horizontal band and you want to lay it from your top second peg to center second peg to bottom second peg. And this is a single band that you're going to lay in a triangle shaped. Come right below that and do the same thing with a single band. The next thing we need to do is to cap band this band right here. You need to do a 2-time cap band and place that on that center peg. You can use your hook to make your 2-time cap band, or you can wrap it directly around that peg. Now that I have that portion of the hair complete, we're going to begin to loop that area. For looping that portion, I am going to pick my loom up and show you how to loop this portion. You want to reach into this cap band, pushing back and grabbing the top 2 bands, which now are going to come off to our left. I only grabbed one that time, so I'm reaching in to grab the second one and moving those off to my left. The next 2 bands, my case, it's one tan and one beige, or one beige and one brown, are coming over to the right. And I want to go through that cap band and grab the center 2 bands. Being careful that you loop the center bands both around this peg right here. Push back that cap band, reaching in, grabbing your bottom 2 bands for the center, and come forward once. Reach into your center again, bottom 2 bands, and come forward again. You want to stop right there. Don't loop all the way up to the top, because we're doing our hair a little bit differently to make sure that it covers the back of her head. This is a technique that I designed with the Prince Eric tutorial, and I'm going to show you how to do it on our little baby boy Billy. Our next loop will be to reach into our 3rd peg on our left, and you're going to wiggle out the bottom 2 bands. Grab and wiggle out the bottom 2 bands. Do not loop forward to the 2nd peg. I want you to pull them over off to the side and come down and loop it around the 4th peg on the left. We're going to link this in at a later portion of our video. Our next step is to do that same technique on the right side. Right peg number 3, reach in, dig down, get the bottom 2 bands, wiggle them out, and we're going to pull it back to right peg number 4. Our next step will be to lay the face area and the rest of the body. For this step, you want to make sure that you've got all of your items pushed down on your loom. Take a moment, make sure that your face looks similar to what I have here, and then come back and we will progress on with the rest of the video. Right guys, we're ready to move on to the face area. For the face, you're going to need 2 skin tone bands that we're going to place from our upper peg number 2 to upper peg number 3. 2 bands are going to go on our center set of pegs from peg 2 to peg 3. 2 additional bands going from bottom peg number 2 to bottom peg number 3. The next step will be to take 2 additional bands and place down the center. The next step is to take 2 bands and place in a diagonal from the top to the center. 2 bands closing off this diagonal here from center to bottom. Our next step is to do the neck. And for the neck, you want to use 3 rubber bands, a total of 3 bands coming straight down the center. Before we do any looping or looming or laying or anything else from this point on, I need to connect in the back of the hair. To connect in the back of the hair, you want to reach through this center peg that you just completed the neck on, and you want to reach down and you want to grab the set of brown bands that's under there, or the hair color bands that are down under there. And you just want to remove that up and over the peg and just let it rest right where it lays. This is going to link our hair in together as we loop up our creation. I'm going to place my horizontal bands for my face by taking a single band and doing that on the cheek area here. Another single band coming above that to form a triangular shape. And now I'm going to do the eye portion. For the eyes, you want to take a single black rubber band and wrap it around your hook 3 times. So you're doing essentially a cat band on your hook. Take another single black band, wrap it around your hook so that it looks like there's a 3-time twist on your bands. Take a single flesh colored band or skin tone color, and you want to convert those 2 black pieces over and onto that. This is going to form your eyes. Our next step is to take and place those across our second peg number 2 down to the bottom, the second peg also. Separate them slightly, and now you can see that there are 2 pieces here. You want to pick up one of these pieces, the lower piece, and you want to link that down 1 peg. And that is going to keep our eyes in place as we loop up our creation. Now we can progress on to the neck area and the shoulders. Actually, our neck is already laid. We're going to move on to the shoulders. And because Little Boy Billy here is only 2 columns wide, it's going to look a little different on the loom. But if you follow along with me exactly, he will turn out like this. Take 2 bands, place it on your center peg, down 1. 2 bands are going to go from the center peg down on a diagonal. And these are flesh colored or skin tone colors. 2 bands coming down the center. 2 flesh bands coming down the center. 2 bands coming down the bottom, and 2 bands coming down the bottom again. You want to push all of these items down, and now we're going to lay our horizontal bands for the upper portion of our body. To do that, you want to take a single band, wrap it around your hook twice, and then you want to open up and stretch it. So basically it's a double twist band, and you're going to stretch it and place it on your center peg here to your bottom peg there. So essentially you've got an odd looking triangle right in this area. Take another another band, twist it around your hook, stretch it out to form your double twist, and it is going to go in the same fashion on a diagonal. So these diagonals should start off on center peg number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and go to our bottom peg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center peg 6 to bottom peg 5. Center peg 7 to bottom peg 6. That is how our horizontal band should be laid for that portion. Next step is to take 2 of your bathing suit color bottoms. For your bottom, we're going to start the bottom. I'm working on his waistband, and essentially this is going to be its horizontal bands also. Take 2 bands and follow the same diagonal pattern that you used for your horizontal bands. Our next step is to start to lay the shorts, which will be 2 bands coming down the center, and 2 bands coming down the right. The next is 3 bands coming down the center, 3 bands coming down the bottom. We need to take a moment here, and we're going to do some capping and some horizontal bands. We need to place a horizontal band from here to here. Take your hook, loop 1 single band around, and stretch it out, and place it over those pegs. Keeping in mind that your diagonal is going in the same fashion as the other ones. Our next step is to make the little cuff of the shorts. We're going to do that by taking a single band, wrap it around our hook 3 times, so it looks like a 3-time cap band, and place that over this peg right there at the end of our shorts. Another 3-time cap band stretched out and over this area right here. Push those items down also. We're going to begin with the leg, and the leg will be 2 bands of your skin tone color, 2 bands of your skin tone color on the bottom, and now we're going to switch and do double twist bands. A single band, twist it around your hook, stretch it out, and lay it from here to here. Another single band, wrapped around your hook twice, stretched out, and laid from there to there. Another single band, wrap around your hook, stretch it out, and lay from there to there. Now we've reached the end of our loom at this portion. You need to take another single band, wrap it around your hook, and we're going to stretch it out from here to here. These are actually keeping the legs at equal lengths, but because I don't have another peg here where I need one, I'm going to move this link over this way and use the peg that I have at the end of my loom. 1 band, double twist, and bringing it over. Another single band, double twist, and laying that right down here. Our next step is to cap these 2 off. And I've run out of skin tone bands, sorry about that. Sorry for the noise. We need to cap these 2 off, and we're going to cap those off with a 4-time cap band. So you need to wrap a band around your hook 4 times, or wrap it around that peg 4 times. This keeps his foot looking nice and small. You can do 3 times if you don't like to do 4 times, but you need to cap those 2 pegs off in some fashion. Okay. Now before we begin to loom our creation, I want you just to take a moment and push everything down. And just push everything down here. And I'm going to be trying something new with the arms. Lots of you are getting confused with the arms, so I just want to try to lay it out on the loom. And we're going to loop those up in a separate layer. How we're going to do that, follow along closely, and I will instruct you. Take 3 bands in your skin tone color, and we're going to lay it from this peg, which is where the diagonal starts, and the horizontal. We're going to take 3 bands and lay that across those 2 pegs. So that was peg number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From 5 to 6 with 3 bands. Our next step is to lay 2 bands. I'm sorry, 1 band that we're going to double twist. 1 band double twisted, and we're going to lay that down. Another band double twisted and lay that down. Another band double twisted and lay that down. Another band double twisted and lay that down. So it's going to be a total of 4 times for that double twist band. Our next step is to cap this off with a 4-time cap band, and that's going to secure the end of our hand together right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's my 4-time cap band. I'm just stretching it out and laying across that peg right there, and it just fell off. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go. I'm just stretching that back out again. Now for our other arm, before we begin to loop everything, your other arm is going to start on this peg right here, which is peg number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of the center pegs, it's peg number 6. So from peg number 6 to 7, we're going to lay 3 bands. Then we're going to start to lay our double twist bands again. double twist and stretch out, double twist and stretch out, double twist and stretch out. We need a total of 4 of these, so I've got 1 more to do. Double twist and stretch out. And then I need to cap off that band with a 4-time cap band. 1, 2, 3, 4. And stretch that out. Okay, now we have got everything laid on the loom as we need it. And our next steps are going to be to start to loop up. I'm going to loop up first with my arms because they're on the very top layer. I'm going to take a moment, clear my work area, that way I can show you a closer view of what it's going to look like as we loop. Okay guys, I'm ready to start to show you how to loop. We're going to pick our loom up because I can't loop this way, I'm not going to lie. So I need to pick my loom up and I need to turn it for you. And we are going to start off where we laid the cap bands to finish off the arms. I know it's hard to see because it is a peach colored, it's a lighter shade. And we just need to get through this together. So we're going to hold it a little closer so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Reach into that cap band where your arm ended, pushing back that 4-time cap band, or 3 if you needed to do 3. And you're grabbing the first double twist band. And you're going to loop forward once. You're going to reach into this next peg, grabbing just that double twist band. And you're going to loop forward once. Reach into this next peg, grabbing just that double twist band, flesh color or skin tone color, and loop forward once. Once again, double twist band, coming forward once. Now we're at a peg where there's a little bit of confusion because there's so many bands and they are all skin tone colored. We need to reach these 3. This is the outside portion of our arm. So I'm going to reach in, grabbing the top 3 bands that are there. Try not to hook it into the horizontal band that's underneath. Grab those 3 bands and loop forward once. That's going to secure our arm into place. I want you to take a finger, hold it over that end or your fingernail and hold them down. And we're going to pull off our arm and set it off to the side. Just twist it off to the side. So here's Billy's little arm sticking right out there from the side. I need to do the same thing for his other arm. Reaching into the loom and getting that double twist band there, pushing back the cap band, grabbing that first double twist band, and I'm coming up the loom once. I'm reaching in, grabbing that double twist cap band, being sure not to grab anything under it, and coming forward. Reach in, double twist band, and come forward. Reaching in, grabbing that double twist flesh colored, skin tone colored band, and coming forward. Now back to the confusing spot where I need to get these 3 bands for his arm. So you want to reach in, being careful not to grab the horizontal band underneath, getting those 3 bands and looping forward. Our next step is to hold our finger over it again or our fingernail on it. And we're going to release the arm at the bottom. And we're going to twist it off towards the right. And I know he looks a little weird at the current moment, but trust me, he's going to pull off and he's going to line up okay. Now we're going to begin with the bottom of our pants. We're going to start off with the left leg, reaching in beyond that 4-time cap band. And we're going to come forward once, grab the next 2 bands or double twist band. Here's another double twist band. And now I've reached an area where there are 2 bands. Reach in, grabbing your 2 skin tone bands and coming forward once. This next peg has a lot on it. It has got all your flesh bands that we just looped. It's got a set of 3-time twist cap bands that we did. And then it's got our 3 bands down here that we laid. I need you to reach into that peg, pushing back on that cat band. Push back on that cat band, and you're going to grab the bottom 3 and pull that up through. Our next step is going to be to reach into this peg, pushing back everything that's there, and grabbing those bottom bands and come forward once. Reach in again, pushing back the 2 bands that are there as a horizontal band, grabbing our skin tone bands, and we're going to come forward. Reach into that peg, pushing back our horizontal band, grabbing the bottom 2 skin tone bands, and coming forward. And now I've reached a peg with a lot of congestion because it's got his arm already on it, and it's got the horizontal bands in it also. So you just want to reach through, pushing back everything, and you're getting the bottom 2 bands. Wiggle them out. They'll be a little tense, and move that over to the center. And that is going to complete the chest area portion right here of our little guy. I need to finish up the rest of the leg before I can move up onto his neck and cheek area. So I'm back down here to do his right leg. Reach in, grabbing that double twist band, and come over to the center. Reach in, grabbing that double twist band, and coming up 1. Double twist band, coming up, 2 bands, coming straight forward. A congested area again where we need to push back everything. We're grabbing that bottom 2 bands and coming forward. Push back the horizontal band, grabbing the bottom 2 blue and come forward. Push back that horizontal band, grabbing the bottom 2 flesh colored bands and come forward. Push back that flesh colored horizontal, grabbing the bottom 2 and coming forward. Congested peg again, push back everything and get that bottom 2 bands and loop those forward. And you'll see that everything just fell off of that. It's okay, it's not going to go anywhere. I can fiddle with it and put it back down if I want to, or you could just leave them off because they're already linked in. And now the next portion is going to be the neck. This is going to be a slightly different technique than you've seen. Reach into your neck area and you're getting the bottom 3 and you're going to come forward. Now for this neck area, in order to get our hair to lock in, you'll see the hair bands right here. These are the bottom 2 bands that I linked in earlier, and I need to get those out of my way. So I want you to grab those 2 bands and I just want you to slightly pull them back to the peg right beneath it. This is going to open up the area here so we can reach in and grab our top two bands that we come to, which are going off to the left for a cheek. The next 2 bands, which are going off to our right, and our center 2 bands, flesh colored. You do not want to reach the brown, the hair pieces that are underneath. You want to pull out those 2 bands and loop that forward. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the center aisle first, or the center row. Pushing back this horizontal band that I have right here that the eye is attached to. And I'm grabbing the top 2 flesh colored bands. You don't want to go all the way to the bottom. Your flesh color bands and link forward. Reach into that peg there in the center, and this is going to be your hair colored bands. We're going to wiggle those out and complete the center. This is going to link all of our items together in the center, and now we just need to work on the hair and the rest of our cheek. We're going to start over here on the left side, pushing back all of those skin tone bands, and I'm grabbing just the 2 flesh colored bands. I'm going to link forward once. My next step is going to be to come back to this band right here this peg underneath the cheek where we laid our hair on it, that extra piece of hair at the beginning. We're just going to link in and grab that hair, and we're going to loop it up to peg number 2. And it has fallen off, so I just need to take a moment. There's a lot of stuff on that peg, so it just popped right off. I'm just linking that back onto peg number 2. So you grab the piece that was on peg number 4, just lifted it up, wiggled it around, and placed it onto peg number 2. Reaching into peg number 2, beyond that hair piece that we just laid, beyond all the flesh colored bands, and you're reaching in to dig down and get the bottom 2 hair colored bands. You're going to link forward. Reach into that peg, your 2 hair colored bands, and come over to the center. Now we need to complete this process on the right side. So for our right side, we still need to do the cheek, reaching in, grabbing the flesh or skin tone colored bands, wiggle those out, and come forward 1 peg. Now we need to link in our hair band. If you don't do this area right here correctly, your loom creation will fall apart. Speaking from experience. So grab your hair bands, peg number 4. You just want to grab that with your hook, wiggle it out to the right, and lay it onto peg number 2. Now for peg number 2 on the right there, pushing back everything that's there. I'm getting the bottom 2 bands, which are my hair bands, and looping forward. And now I'm reaching into that peg and getting the bottom 2 bands, the only ones that are there, and looping over to the center. Now we are ready to finish off our creation, and that is going to be by reaching into this top center peg, go all the way through and stick your hook out at the opposite end all the way through, and we need to pull up a single band, and we're going to slip knot that off at the top. This is going to be our securing band that holds everything together. Now we are ready to pull little Billy, Boogie Board Billy, off of the loom and see how things go. Reach in. I always use the back of my hook. If you don't have a hook like mine, please, please, please use a wooden skewer, the end of a paintbrush tip, something just to shove in there in each of these pegs. You do not want to just rip this off because you take the chance of breaking your bands. So I just simply reach in, especially in this congested face area, and relieve the tension and relieve the items off the loom. You want to make sure that you do it in the neck area also, because you don't want that to lose any bands there. And then when we get to the short area, we got a little bit more work to do. When you get to the short area, you need to be careful that you don't break a leg, cause a leg to fall off. So here we have got our little boy, and I am just straightening up the bands. You'll see that his hair is covering the back of his head. To get this little portion of flesh to cover up, you just simply need to tug on the bands slightly and push them towards the back. Hide your dangle band, and I'm just doing that in the back of the head right now. So hide off your securing band. Here we've got little Billy. He looks cute, but his shorts aren't right because everything ends up in the back when you do it this way. So for his shorts, turn him over on his back, and you're going to grab, of these 3 bands that you have right there, you want to grab 2 of them, of that 3-time cat band, and you're just going to stretch him out and push his leg through and pull that off to the front. And this gives his shorts a little cuffed look. Here's my 3 bands again in the back. I'm grabbing 2 of them. I'm going to push his leg through and move those bands up to the front. Now we need to do a similar thing for his waist, but for his waist, you're going to take one of these 2 bands, twist it, and loop it forward. The next band, you're going to take and just move everything forward. And then this is going to be where we're going to twist it and put it towards the back. And this is linking in our waistbands, and it's linking in our cuffs to our little shorts. You can fiddle with the arms. If you want his arms pointing forward, just simply slide your hook in and give his arms a little tug and tuck. I'm just sliding that in, my hook in, and if you pull on them just slightly, gives the arm more definition and points it in the direction that you want them to be. Just move your links around a little bit. And here we have got our boogie board Billy ready for the Loomville Beach. And he's ready to play with his little friend. And there you guys go. Cute little collection of our little boys. One with beads, one with bands for the eyes. You can determine which one of those you like better. I prefer the beads, but not everybody has beads. So here you guys go. I hope you like. Please post your creations on my Facebook page at Crafty Ladybug Rainbow Loom Creations. Hashtag me on Instagram or visit me on the web. Thank you guys so much.